Good evening. 24ാമത് International Film Festival of Kerala Meet the Director segment ആരംഭിക്കുകയാണ്. I invite Meera Sahib sir, the chairman of this segment, is a columnist, writer and director. Sir, please come to the stage.
Good afternoon. Namaskaram. We are starting the proceedings of the 5th day of Meet the Director program. We have 5 guests today. Kisle, the director of film I Say Hey. Khalid Rahman, filmmaker Unda. We are expecting Aparna Sen, filmmaker Gaire Baire. Akshay Rai is producer of AX1, and Sri George Tiller, producer When the Permission Grew. I request all the guests to come over to the stage. And also I invite Nishad Yusuf, the editor of the film Unda. In our list is program that Gidu Mohandas, Sakshi Kabu and Aparna Sen will also participate in the program, but they have not yet turned up. I expect their presence. They may come. I would like to introduce the directors and the filmmakers present here. We can do the introduction after the other personalities reaches the stage. Kisle, director and screenplay writer of film I Say Hey, just like that. That is in Kaleidoscope section. The film has been shown in Busan Film Festival few months back. Khalid Rahman, director Unda, that is Malayalam film, shown in Malayalam Cinema Now section. Also Nishad Yusuf, the editor of the film. Akshay Rai is a producer of the film AX1, and this is Akshay Rai is representing Nicholas Kirkonger, am I right? He is the director of the film that is being shown in Indian Cinema Now section. Then we have with us Mr. George Tiller. He is producer of When the Permission Grew, that is competing for the Peasant Crew Award. The director Hilal Bedarov, he could not come due to some other preoccupations. On behalf of the crew, George Tiller will address us. First of all, I would like to invite Kisle, director of the film I Say Hey, just like that. Please. You can talk about the film, the filmmaking difficulties in filmmaking, what problems you are encountering during the filmmaking process. You have time, you can talk in detail. All of you can talk in detail about your filmmaking process, your experience.
Hello. Check. Working? Hi, I'm Kisle. I'm the director of film SAE. It's my first film. Uh, we shot it in Allahabad. I come from Allahabad, which is a city in Uttar Pradesh. And generally, my producer Shwetab Singh, and camera person Somananda Sahi, and editor of the film Tanushi Das, we were thinking for a long time of doing something on our own to create the kind of films which we liked while we were studying in Film and Television Institute of India. So then I had thought of a script in mind. If you haven't seen the film, it's about an old woman. She's 74 years old, and the film starts when her husband dies, and then the children expect her that she will shift with them. The society expect her that she will carry forward the cultural and religious work which her husband used to do. So they already have expectations from Mrs. Sharma. But she slowly starts doing things which she enjoys, and the thing she enjoys can be as small as taking a walk in the night, eating ice cream in the mall, learning embroidery. But these small liberties, which she takes, people think she has changed, or people think that she is not behaving as she is expected to behave. And slowly the society, her own children, turns against her, and so that was the idea with which we progressed. But we also wanted to just show the situation of North India, the kind of time India is going through, how people are becoming more and more conservative. There is a mundane, everyday kind of a violent atmosphere which is there in the country. I mean, those who have been seeing the news of yesterday and today, and the kind of events happening in the country, will be aware of what I'm talking about. So we wanted to explore that what has happened to people, and why is there such a cultural of a very ordinary daily violence which is there. We wanted to explore that, and we tried showing that in our film. So yes, that was the whole journey. In terms of filmmaking, we are largely dependent on ourselves and tried to do things the way we want, not driven by any kind of commercial consideration. And now the film is complete. I hope there is one more show tomorrow morning at 9:15. If you haven't seen it, maybe you can catch it. And yes.
We can have a question and session at the end of the program after going one round. You're a product of FTA. Fine. So I would like to call upon Mr. George Tiller is the producer of When the Permission Grew, that is competing in the competition section of the festival. The producer is here.
Hi, I'm producer and filmmaker based in Vienna and Paris. I'm here with a film called When the Persimmons Grew, which is an Austrian-Azerbaijani co-production. It's a very unique film by a director that is just really now entering sort of the film scene. he has in the past 4 years realized, I think, 17 films that are now just slowly released. And When the Persimmons Grew, it is his fourth film that it's been internationally presented, and it won the main award at the Sarajevo Film Festival and other awards. So we are quite happy actually with what happened to the film, because it's not necessarily the most accessible film. Something that's also very interesting is that there is not really a big cinema landscape in Azerbaijan. There is not a film funding. There's nothing really made. Nobody expects somebody like the director Hilal Baydarov to even exist in his country. So it was for me a big opportunity to produce such a very unique voice that comes from a country that doesn't really have an industry in film. Some of his films deal with, most of his films are extremely personal. This film, he acts in it, him and his mother. It's actually a sort of in-between fiction and documentary where they play out a fictionalized version of their own relationship, as I would say. And it's a very universal story about conflict between a son and his mother. It's a generational conflict. It's a conflict between the countryside and the city. It's a conflict between a rural lifestyle and a sort of urban intellectual lifestyle. And we had quite a nice screening here already. As I said, it's like film as meditation almost. So if you like to meditate while watching a film, I invite you to come to one of the other screenings. There's still one today, I think, and another one tomorrow that you could catch.
Thank you, George. Now, I would like to call upon Akshay Rai. He is representing film AX1. Eh? Akuni. Okay. Why it is written AX1?
It's just spelled that way, but it's a northeastern term, so it's pronounced.
Okay. So director has not come. His director is Nicholas Karkonga. He has not come. The film is being shown in Indian Cinema Now section. Akshay Rai, please.
Hi, so it's called Akuni, which is basically a Naga dish. It's made out of fermented soya bean, and then it's usually served with smoked pork. And the film is essentially about this group of northeastern Indian girls who are sort of living in Delhi, and it's their best friend's wedding, and they want to do this special dish just to please her and make her wedding special, because it's a very it's out of a sudden that she's about to get wedded. So it's the story of how these girls go about making this dish, while we're also exploring the northeastern experience of living in Delhi, and also exploring issues like friendship and unrequited love. And it's made by Nicholas Kargonkar, it's his second film. The first film was called Mantra. Nicholas has lived in Delhi for quite some time, did some theatre there before moving to Mumbai. And it's essentially derived out of his own experiences. And then, of course, the entire family that he's lived with in Delhi, and how these group of friends essentially become a family, and what they go through in everyday life. So it's a story in a day, but it's trying to deal with quite a few things. And yeah, we had a packed house today. We have a packed house. I don't know how many of you haven't seen it. We'll be able to go watch it tomorrow, and we're definitely loving the response that we got today in the screening. We premiered the film at the BFI London Film Festival. That was the world premiere. And then we were at Mami. And I'm just also coming from the Hornbill Film Festival, which is the biggest festival in Nagaland. It's called Festival of Festivals, where there are a lot of events and film being one part of it. And yeah, we're glad to be here and showcasing the film.
Thank you, Akshay. Now the turn of Khalid Rahman, director of film Unda. He will speak about his film.